In biblical texts, there are a lot of characters that hold a particular position, and among them, Cain is special. But why is that, and what is his identity? We will now embark on a journey to know all about Cain. But before that, if you have any preferable topics that you want us to cover next, let us know in the comments below. The person whose topic piques our interest will get a shout-out in that video. Let's get started. Cain's identity. Following the fall of humanity, Adam, Eve, and the serpent bore the weight of a divine curse. Eve, believing Cain to be a divine blessing, birthed the world's first murderer, unknowingly setting the stage for a tragic narrative. As both sons, Cain and Abel, offered their devotions to God, divine favor fell upon Abel's sacrificial offering of his flock's firstborn. Jealousy consumed Cain, leading to Abel's murder. Despite God offering Cain a chance to confess, he attempted deception, only confessing under divine scrutiny. God's severe punishment condemned Cain to perpetual exile as a vagabond, an outcast without a home. The intricate dynamics of blessings and curses, as outlined in the Bible, follow eternal, unchanging laws. Solomon's wisdom in Proverbs 26 verse 2 illuminates the principle that a curse without a cause shall not alight, emphasizing the inherent connection between curses and underlying causes. In unraveling the complexities of this biblical narrative, it becomes a timeless exploration of human choices, divine justice, and the enduring consequences of actions in the sacred tapestry of existence. Cain's curse. Cain faced an amplified version of Adam's curse, making farming impossible. Despite the severity, God, unwilling for Cain's death by human hands, marked him with a protective sign during his vagabond period. A stern warning declared sevenfold vengeance for anyone harming Cain. In this delicate balance between divine justice and mercy, God's provision for Cain's protection offers a nuanced perspective on the consequences and compassion within the narrative. Cains Mark. Nobody knows what this mark on Cain was, even though various people have speculated about it. The nature of the mark on Cain has been the subject of much debate and speculation. The Hebrew word translated mark is oth and refers to a mark sign or token. Elsewhere in the Hebrew scriptures, oth is used 79 times and is most frequently translated as sign, so the Hebrew word does not identify the exact nature of God's mark on Cain. Whatever it was a sign, an indicator that Cain was not to be killed. Some people believe that the mark was a scar or some form of a tattoo on the individual's body. In any event, the specific nature of the mark is not the primary focus of the passage. The focus is that God would not allow people to exact vengeance against Cain. Whatever the mark on Cain was, it served this purpose. Cain's marriage. Departing from the Lord's presence, Cain settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden, marrying one of Adam's descendants. In Genesis 4 verse 17, Cain's wife bore him a son, Enoch, prompting him to build a city bearing his son's name. Notably, Genesis 5 verse 4 reveals that Adam had other sons and daughters. Despite later prohibitions in Leviticus and Deuteronomy against marrying a sister, it's recognized that necessity, long preceding God's proclamation through Moses, led Adam's sons to marry his daughters, exemplified in Cain's union with his sister. This early instance underscores the evolving dynamics and imperatives within the early human lineage. First city. The seeds of industry and urbanization sprouted with a distinctly human-centric approach. The city, named after Cain's son, reflected a departure from a God-centered orientation. The decline of humanity, initiated by Cain, continued in subsequent generations, as evidenced in Genesis 4 verses 18 to 19. The sixth in line from Adam on Cain's side, Lamech, symbolized this deterioration. His choice of two wives marked the first instance of bigamy in human history, emphasizing his misplaced priorities. In stark contrast, Enoch, sixth from Adam in Seth's line, epitomized godliness. Lamech's arrogant boasts, recorded in Genesis 4 verses 23 to 24, revealed a troubling trend of moral decay. Despite his grandiose claims, Lamech and his descendants vanished from biblical accounts, a testament to the fleeting nature of worldly pride. As human degeneration unfolded, God, in his mercy, blessed Adam with another son, Seth, signaling a hope for renewal amidst the encroaching shadows of devolution in the human narrative. New family tree. Seth exemplified the same type of worship as his deceased brother Abel because people began to invoke the Lord's name in connection with Seth. Cain's way of worship, which is prideful, points to itself. The humble way of worship, as practiced by Abel and Seth, calls out to God. Jude 11. Woe to them, for they have gone the defined way of Cain, and for the prophet, they have run headlong into the error of Balaam, and perished in the rebellion of the mutinous core. It's no surprise then that when God needed an obedient servant, hundreds of years later, he chose Noah from Seth's line. Curses. The Bible contains nearly 200 references to curses, making it a pivotal theme. God's responses, whether blessings for obedience or curses for disobedience, underscore Deuteronomy 27-30's significance. Deuteronomy 28 outlines profound blessings awaiting Israel's obedience, encompassing safety, health, prosperity, and preeminence among nations. However, curses often arise from one person cursing another. The intricate relationship between obedience and divine favor, as well as the consequences of curses, resonates throughout biblical narratives, shedding light on the pivotal role of choices and spiritual dynamics in shaping individual and collective destinies. Forces. History's determinants fall into the visible and invisible realms, shaping the course of events through their interaction. The visible realm encompasses the material universe with its tangible objects and events, providing a realm where many find comfort despite unpredictable outcomes. However, the Bible introduces an unseen spiritual realm with continuous and decisive influences on visible events. Curses and blessings, central themes in Scripture, are mentioned over 640 times. Freedom from curses lies in the divine exchange, Jesus enduring on our behalf the consequences of our iniquities by divine justice. In return, God offers goodness due to Jesus' sinless obedience. This exchange, a manifestation of God's grace, doesn't compromise divine justice, as Jesus bore the just punishment for our iniquities. Faith alone serves as the conduit for receiving this unparalleled grace. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for all future updates. See you next time.